Speak, Lord. Mm-hmm. Speak to me. Oh, speak, Lord. Speak to me. You saved my soul when you came. I call out your name. Oh, speak to me. Speak to me, Lord. I hear you, Lord. Oh, speak to me. Who can't sleep at night? And I wonder why. Telling you guys, trying to tell you something. I'm gonna speed it up. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, can't sleep at night. Oh, and I wonder why. Tell you God is trying. Tell you something. I hear you, Lord. Baby, speak to me. Trying to tell you something right now, right now, right now. Hey, good morning, y'all. Welcome to Sunday morning worship with Rico. John Morant, did you hear that? Let's get right to it. John Morant, I'm dedicating that song to you, brother. But first, before I get to, after I dedicate this song to you, brother, I want to just invite everybody to check out my YouTube channel. Just like, share, and subscribe. Same thing with this video right here on my Facebook page. Share it. And also, if you hadn't found out about it, I'll tell you. I wrote a little PDF short story. I wrote a short story. It's entitled The Greatest Pain I Ever Felt. Conversation with the absent biological father who never wanted to be found. It's about when I found out by accident who my actual biological father was. And at age 22, it was by accident. It was not ever supposed to get out. And all of the drama and the roller coaster of emotions that followed after that, I found out by accident that night. Shout out to my Aunt Pat who passed away 2010 from pancreatic cancer. So it's like 50 pages. I wrote it down and shared all my thoughts about that. And I think fatherlessness is a very important topic that won't seem to ever want to go away in our community, in America or in the black community. So if you like to hear my story, it's only $10. Cash App, $RicotheOpinionist. It's in the description box in this video, just on the YouTube and as well as Facebook. It's on my page. So check it out. If you decide to hit me on the Cash App, $10 or the PayPal, RicotheOpinionist, please leave me an email address. So, because it's in a PDF format, so as soon as you hit me with the Cash App payment of $10, and with that email address, I can email it to you right away. And then should you decide to buy it, would you let me know what you think about it? Because your opinion really matters. It'll help me out, and your feedback would really help me out into, help maybe formulate other stories, and how I formulate other stories in the future. So, let's get back to Sunday morning. This Sunday morning worship. Oh, glory. Hallelujah. Come on, somebody. Whew. And it's a beautiful Sunday morning, too. I had to get my hustle on about a couple hours, but I just want to do this video before I head in and make my, regular people's money. I don't have a $200 million plus athletic contract with the NBA, basketball contract with the NBA, so I'm a regular person, so how do regular people do? Get them earn their little cash, you hear me? Not say they don't earn their money, I'm just saying. Where can I start? Let's start with the title of this, on this Facebook page, and subsequently the YouTube. It says, Memphis Grizzlies superstar John Morant continues to push the thug, in quotes, and hood, in quotes, narrative. What's up, Ivan? Good morning. And has it gone too far this time? And that seems to be the hot topic. Now, if y'all can go back through the archives of my videos on my YouTube channel, and those of you on my Facebook page, I did a video while back. Good morning, Marcus. I did a video a while back saying it was like from me to Ja Morant, young brother, stop with the foolishness. And I guess a couple of things has happened since then, or more things have happened since then. When he went to Shannon Sharp and I guess the players and then whatever that little debacle was. I think somehow there was a Grizzlies Ja Morant father kind of deal going on. And then lately, the latest thing with him reportedly brandishing a gun on his Instagram. And when I was made aware of this behavior, I think it was during a Twitter war he was having with Kendrick Perkins, and I think maybe the big ignorant Charles Barkley. They were trying to tell him, you're not a thug. You're worth $200 million. And I know rich people get tired of being measured by how much money they make, or people who become newly rich, but it changes. It's like when you've earned a master's degree, a PhD in academia, or you become the CEO of the company or the clinical director in a mental health facility, there's a level of expectation. There's an expectation of behavior. There is. So when you become what so many people, so many Americans and people all over the world wish to become, hold on a minute, wait a minute. When you reach a particular economic height or status that so many people would love to reach, there is a level of expectation of as it relates to behavior. And a lot of people, let's make it more about our community. And let's make it more specific about people growing up in the hood or the urban areas. Good morning, Mary Max. Let's make it about that. When people who grew up in the hood or grew up in the hard parts of America, be it they call it urban America or inner city or the hood or whatever, they're usually there on survival mode, trying to economically lift themselves up or survive by any means necessary, so they can create some form of economic relief. And so when you're able to make it out, or not only make it out, but make it up to a status that's almost considered global, not just national, but global, there is an expectation. Whether you like it or not, there are people you've never met, never spoken to, never crossed paths with. They have these expectations placed on you. That is the truth. We all do. It's like when you turn 21 and you're not 15 anymore, people expect you to behave as a 21-year-old adult. When you turn 40, when you turn 50, there's expectations. Somehow, and Ja Morant, this is not exclusive or specific to Ja Morant. There's so many young people, when they reach particular statuses in life, that they don't understand what's expected of them. Or do they have that, or do they know to have that expectation of themselves? Well, let's go back to my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, probably just like Cleveland, St. Louis, Chicago, or, wherever. Or Albany, Georgia, or whatever. If you're a politician, you're the mayor, city councilman, there's a level of expectation, as it relates to behavior and how you present yourself. And so those who are trying to, even remotely, still trying to trying to defend Ja Morant, even at this point, you out of line when Kendrick Perkins and other sportscasters and sports commentators were trying to tell him, dude, bring it down a notch. Don't present that image. That's not you. And then reportedly, he reportedly grew up in like a middle class upbringing with both his parents. So there, right there, there's an expectation of behavior. But when you're not a person who's well-rounded or been taught to look within as a person who you want to rely on, or to love and to nurture and respect and all that, well, you look outward for validation. We have a lot of kids who grew up in the suburbs, grew up with a silver spoon, or grew up with a bronze spoon or whatever. They grew up middle class and up, but somehow they still seek the validation of the quote unquote the hood. And that has been the downfall of so many young people, and let's be more specific, a lot of black males, when they come across money, if it's not through academia or some type of scholarship, through, let's say they become an astronaut or top salesman at their insurance company, or they own a business, when they don't come through academia or scholarship, when they earn their money elsewhere, they seem to still try to flex and floss in front of, quote unquote, the hood. And I think Ja Morant is one of many of young people who do that. He came up through basketball or through sports. And we have to admit, they don't make the black male sports athletes the way they used to make them in the 50s and 60s. They don't make them like Muhammad Ali anymore. They don't make them like Jim Brown anymore. Yeah, Jim Brown used to act a fool, too. I think he was outside of football, though. He had gotten into movies when he allegedly threw a chick out the balcony at one of his homes. But publicly, Jim Brown was a human rights activist, a civil rights activist. He stood up for on behalf of black folks. He presented himself as a man. He not as a child playing games all the time. Even at some point, what's the brother? Can't get people's names right. Muhammad Ali, of course. Who were the others? Tommy Smith, John Carlos, those brothers who threw their fists up at the 1968 Olympics in Mexico. Those brothers who were serious. They're in sports. They were serious about the community, serious about their public persona. They didn't present playing and thug and all of that. They were serious. So something happened. What's his name? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's one of them. Back then, but this Kareem today, I don't know what's up with this old cat. I think he's just trying to fit in. So, Ja Morant, just like any other person who makes it onto the global stage, national global stage, there are a lot of people who are looking at you, whether you want to admit you're a celebrity or not. Maybe you've absorbed it and you just love it so much. But there is a particular expectation of behavior. And in Memphis, Tennessee, even though you're from South Carolina, Memphis, Tennessee has become almost like a huge hood. Because the one thing Memphis loves to really push out and celebrate is rap and hood. There's so many other cool things going on about Memphis, Tennessee. People mention barbecue, but they love to push rap music, the thug rap, and a lot of hood behaviors. And then when you look at it, the Memphis City school system, barely 10% of the children of all, damn near 200,000 plus kids in the Memphis Shelby County school system are at grade reading level. So that in itself explains a lot why a lot of Memphis is so hood and so lowbrow in their behavior as well as in their expectations. And so Ja seems to try to quote unquote fit in with the narrative of my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. And it's not working for him. And also, as you're a young man who's maturing, what is he, 23, 24, 200 million plus, and the next contract probably going to be double that. But, Ja, bro, you can't do what other people are doing. I know you've been hearing it all week, so I guess it's my time to chime in, right? You can't do what the street dudes do. As a matter of fact, your friend's circle's gonna have to change too, man. I mean, a lot of maturity is really gonna have to kick in. You cannot hang out with the same dudes that you was in the 9th grade with, especially if they're not on the same team of achievement. You can't blame yourself if you're doing this for your talents taking you to the moon, to the stars. Maybe their talents to take them elsewhere. And in a lot of communities, in our community, we tend to almost hold people hostage because whatever talent they had got recognized. I hope y'all can hear this over this way. Whatever talent they had was recognized, and then people think that you owe them something because we was in the 9th grade together. That's not how that works. Everyone makes it on their own merit, and he chose sports. From what I understand, basketball, and from what I understand, his dad taught him. everything he knows, or really nurtured his ability. And so this is why he's as great as he is already in basketball. He comes damn near from half court to dunk on somebody, floats literally through the damn air. He's athletically gifted in basketball. But to you fathers of sons, that want to push your sons into athletics, you know, while you're building his muscles and his jump shot or his blocking or his football hand, his basketball hand, can you also build them up on the inside? So should the day come when their talents actually pay off in a beautiful multi-million-dollar, $500 million contract, they'll still have enough sense to understand, okay, I've just signed a $500 million contract. And so, therefore, I have to start moving differently. My mind has to change differently. It has to change. And so I think John Moran is like a lot of these young brothers when they get some money now from their talents, but the inside of them up here had never been nurtured and exercised. And that's how they've always done black boys. From the beginning of when black males were first brought over here to the country, they were exploited for their physical attributes. Run, jump, for stud farming, breeding, run, jump, lift, push, pull, drag. And so as a community, we've gotten into that. Instead of nurturing black boys, the minds of black boys, we try to nurture the physical attributes because white society has told you if you got a son, the only way he can truly be successful is to go through athletics. And there's nothing wrong with that. But please, in the future, fathers of sons who want to push them through sports, nurture their hearts and their minds and their common sense, please. And I'm not accusing John Morant's parents of anything. I'm just saying his behavior is almost as if somebody had been teaching him a damn thing except to just dribble. That's the behavior. I'm outside looking in. I know what I'm seeing. And people, they're saying, man, you worth all this money. You know, it doesn't matter how much money they're worth. If their mind and their character and their spirit is not in line with that, well, it's what you get. This is what you're getting. This behavior. And so a lot of the young black dudes who didn't grow up with dads, who didn't really see true levels of masculinity, what manhood is, well, this white society is giving them a false sense of manhood. They push it through rap music. And John Morant loves rap music. There's nothing wrong with it per se, but I think rap music should be for the mature minds. But what do we mean by that, Rico? So I can listen to Project Pata, because I'm from Memphis. I can listen to 3-6, Don't Stand So Close to Me. I can listen to Ghetto Eyes by Player Fly. I can listen to all of my hometown rap. I can listen to Moneybag Yo. I look at my watch, I got time today. I can listen to all that because I'm a mature adult. It doesn't cause me to want to live out the lyrics or live out the images. But you got these young, impressionable young men who feel, or who've been somehow conditioned that their prowess is in their physical attributes, where you run into these problems. Maybe with this, I guess, a 2-game suspension that he's been handed down for allegedly showing a gun in his Instagram video, Ja, hopefully, and I read your statement where you said, you know, I apologize on behalf of everybody, team, coach, and blah, 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 the fans, and I plan to take this time out to do better. Well, really, bro? I hope so, young brother. You know, it sounds like there can be a re-education going on. Now, a lot of times, I think a lot of this bad behavior is from lack of education. I know a lot of us crap on it, but it's something about when a young man majors in something that causes him to really read and use his brain. Like, you know, and people crap on liberal arts as something, well, you can't make no money. I get it. I would, you know, since he already has the money, I would suggest that most of the players like John Morant, who still trying to live out the hood life, and they up on another status, I think John Morant, I think you should enroll in a community college, online or however you want to do it, during the off season when this is up. I think you should major in English. English literature. The one thing I learned from my English comp classes, you learn how to write, and you learn how to talk. And I think a lot of these young men, and particularly in Memphis and other urban areas, a lot of them react the way they do because of lack of education and the insecurities of lack of education. I think a lot of them are not very articulate, and when you're not very articulate, that's a sign of not being able to read very well. I know a lot of sports fans probably see this video and say, "Rico, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not into sports." Well, I'm not heavily invested into sports. I'm a behavioral guy. I'm in mental health and substance abuse counseling, so I deal with behavior. And so, what's up, my man? What's up, Kevin? What you say, Kev? Too much of that bull-ish about keeping it real. Yep, when keeping it real goes wrong. You're right, bro. Yeah, I think you should go back to school, man. Major in English comp. Something that'll allow you to, to read and write. And also, it activates your brain on another level other than some rap lyrics. And I'm not blaming anything else. I'm just saying these are accompaniments to bad behavior. And also, hopefully you'll recognize that you may have to have a conversation, John Morant, with the people around you. No, you don't have, when you become rich and famous, the people around you should also have the same kind of money or who also been there for a little while where you can learn something from. John Morant. I say the best person that you can probably learn from, some of these old school basketball players. John Morant, if you're listening, bro, I think you should contact Kwame Brown. I think Kwame Brown can really show you how to navigate your way, still be a young man in his 20s, still enjoy his money, still do all that. I think he can show you how you can make it to 20 years in the league without any controversy, or however long you want to be there. Because I was listening to one of his videos, he made a good point as it relates to how you're perceived when you're a black athlete. And maybe this conversation hasn't been had with you. I'm sure it has, because you're around some of everybody. But as it relates to endorsements, when they come out to these black athletes to offer them endorsements, Nike, Wheatie Box, Gatorade, or what have you, and they're in the millions of dollars, $50 to $100 million. A lot of athletes don't even have to spend their own money because they're spending the money from endorsements. You have to spend their base check. And if you continue to push this hood and thug narrative, these white corporations, there are no black corporations sending giving anybody any goddamn endorsements. Black folks, that's a whole nother life. But they don't own any damn thing to give multi-million dollar endorsements. So it's going to have to be General Mills or someone who owns Peloton, all these major corporations that profit billions of dollars annually. Those are the people who will be, Anthony, what's up, my man? Those will be the people who will be offering you these endorsement deals. All kinds of tennis shoes, clothes, foods, whatever, cars. And so, and if you haven't paid attention, Ja, when they push these black athletes, they want to make sure that white America, you're appeasing and you're sanitizing up for white America. They don't push these black athletes to black folks. They push them to the global white society. That's where you make your money at. You trying to appeal to the hood where they're going to keep you there and keep fooling around these Negroes. You're going to have your ass at 2-1 Poplar. And everybody in Memphis knows about 2-1 Poplar, just like everyone in Dallas knows about Loose Derrick. So, you're going to have to separate yourself, bro. If people who go off to college, who earn master's degrees and PhDs, or people who earn at least very early 6 figures, understand how to move out of the hood to live a suburban lifestyle and not hardly connect with it, how come you don't understand the importance, John Morant, of you're worth $200 million and you can't stay away from motherfuckers who worth $200 in food stamps? You're gonna have to learn that too. Yeah, you gonna catch, oh man, you think you been the next motherfucker, boy. Oh, man, you just don't mess with us no more, bro. You know, you don't have to hear all that, but it's okay. You're gonna have to mature, young brother, and start making $200 million friends. And not to say that a lot of them are well behaved, but they were smart enough to keep their images, public images, clean, and not be on Instagram with their friends who are of the urban persuasion or the urban background, who still try to act all urban while they're on Instagram and Twitter and anywhere else. You just have to do better, bro. That's what this is. So hopefully you'll understand this, y'all. And if you need counseling, whatever, hey, I only charge $100 an hour. Get to me, because like I said, I'll have a conversation and see what's really going on. Why is this need to fit in? Why is this need to still trying to show the hood that you still down? And in closing, you'll be the best asset to Memphis, Tennessee, and to children all over the world, and particularly all over the country. The one thing about black males, they've been socially conditioned to look up to athletes and entertainers for guidance and leadership, and even some kind of fatherhood. And you know, unless you flat out do like Michael Jordan and Charles Barkley, say, hey, you know, I'm not a role model for these Negroes. I'm not all that. But if you believe that you are some type of role model for these young men still struggling and toiling around in the hood, well, there's an expectation. So these are just suggestions. You're going to do what you're going to do, and the people around you are going to tell you what they think you should do. So I'm just like anybody else, some little YouTuber, trying to just say, hey, young brother, no, try this. But again, I think you should, as it relates to your own self-development, counseling, of course. I told you, my price is cheap compared to everybody else. And I do Zoom. You want to do that? Or FaceTime, however you want to do it, bro. And then you have, I'll say educational enrichment. I think you should enroll in a few classes, English, literature, and get some reading, and upgrade your music. Because I don't know if you listen to other music, but we know that the average young brother, 18 and 30 years old, they're listening to this little ratchet ass rap music, and it's driving them crazy. Maybe you should try some 80s soul, maybe some early 90s R&B, something. Because this 2000 and beyond foolishness has got everybody, a lot of young adults looking and acting stupid. Maybe some 70s soul, maybe some jazz, something else to motivate the chakras in your mind, young brother, because you have something that you don't want to lose. You have an astounding career that you've already started off in such an impressive way. And I would hate for any more damage to come through it, and let's say damage that's irreparable. I think you can pull yourself out of it, but you're gonna really have to change your mind. You cannot present the image of an N-word or a hood or a thug, and then we get upset when white folks want to call all the black athletes who get in any kind of trouble posses and thugs and all of that, but you're not helping when you buy into the stereotypes. And we know Charles Barkley threw his brother through a glass window. He fought. We knew. Hell, even Danny Ainge. Y'all remember the white boy Danny Ainge? He used to fight. I think he bit some guys on the fingers one time. All the basketball players has fought on the court. But they went on to still have 20-year careers, and they became sports commentators. A lot of them became coaches in the NBA. But y'all, you're at the beginning. And you're at a time period where people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar made it possible for you to get these huge contracts. And they were based on what y'all are making. Guys in the 50s and 60s and 70s, hell, even 80s, were being paid peanuts compared to what you guys are. But there's an expectation of behavior, Ja Morant and anybody else who behaves the way he do and thinks it's okay to project the hood image. Let the hood stay in the hood. It's okay to visit, but but when you're $100 million anybody, particularly a young man who's worth $100 million, you got to elevate yourself, brother. You do. And I'm sure you don't live nowhere near these cats that act hood. I heard my friend Mary Maxson suggested that, you know, people like you who worth $100 million plus, maybe should act your zip code. Because I know you don't live in 38108. I know you don't live in 38106. What else? I know you don't live in 38127, 38128. I know you don't live anywhere around those zip codes. So maybe you could try acting your zip code. Again, maybe you should go back to school, learn to read better. You probably say, man, I know how to read. But maybe you should learn to read better, where you can articulate better. And when you respond to someone on Twitter, if it's something you disagree with, the tweets would be more less than 5th grade responses. Education, man. I know a lot of our community, America in itself, but particularly the black community, loves to crap on education. But education is really important. And I know a lot of people say, damn, liberal arts. You're right, because you don't make that much money in sociology, psychology, social work, English majors, and all this stuff. You don't. That's why we will push STEM, you know, science, technology, engineering, and math. But the liberal arts is what helps to round you off as a person. You get to express, you know, in a different way who you are and what you're about. So I'm not going to beleaguer this or belabor this topic. I just want to put my little 2 cents in and say, Ja Morant, you can do better. I know you can. If you have to change the people around you or send some people around you to workshops. And as far as in the closing, as relates to security, you know, my man Kwame, shout out to Kwame Brown. He gave a good example, you know, about security. Instead of having your buddies, allegedly, reportedly, you know, having your back, maybe you should hire some actual professional licensed security guys so they can take the brunt of whatever's going on, because whatever happens, whatever's done around you is all going to fall on you. So there's just some things to think about, man. You're not one of the brothers in the hood anymore, man. You're worth $200 million, not $200 in food stamps. All right? Y'all be cool. Enjoy the rest of your day. This is Rico the Opinionist. I'm on YouTube, Instagram. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget the book. I call it short story. It's only 50 pages. And it's in a PDF format. It's only $10. Rico the Opinionist. Check me out. There's also PayPal, Rico the Opinionist. And if you decide to purchase the book, which is entitled The Greatest Pain Ever Felt, Conversation with Absent Biological Dad Who Never Wanted to Be Found, hit me with an email address. So if you email me with the Cash App, in that little message line, I can email the book or the short story in a PDF format directly to you. Good morning, Coach Cheese, man. You called it at the end, bro. So I guess you have to listen to the playback. But anyway, y'all be cool. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. And I have to go and get ready for my little side hustle today. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.